So since we saw you last in here, you gathered the team last night in the team room. Must have felt, tell us what it felt like to finally have the team all together, all the guys here in.
A lot of thoughts and a lot of time goes into it. So to get them all together and, you know, wives and partners, and we just had a nice dinner last night, nice time, and yeah, you know, all excited and ready to go. And obviously there was a lot of chat about last week. I'm sure Rosie will pick up the bill this week, but you know, there was a lot of chat about that. And you know, they all kind of get together, and obviously a few of them came from America, but then there was a few guys that's been back home, so they just, you know, hadn't seen each other for a couple of weeks, so they're just kind of catching up with everything. And yeah, and then we had just had a nice evening and off to bed and getting rested and out on the golf course this morning.
Yeah, obviously today was the first full day of practice for the guys. Does it feel after that, when you're out in the golf course, that that's the week really beginning?
Yeah, I mean this is it. You know, that's what we're here to do. We're out to play golf, and we want to be out on the golf course. And you know, they're all out there just kind of getting their bearings and getting a little bit of that jet lag off for some of them, and just kind of getting to know what the golf course is like this week. And so yeah, we just got them out there, and they're all happy and all very relaxed. So you know, they'll go all the way around today and you know, had good chats tonight about what they see and how they feel about the golf course, and then we'll start getting our focus in on getting people together and in pairings and stuff like that. You know, it's today is a very relaxed day, and just getting to know the whole golf course and get everybody kind of started with their week.
Sounds good. Now we'll open up the floor to questions. Number one down here in front.
Thomas, we've been out watching and looking at the first few groups and things. How much can we read into the way you've sent them out and the groups of four?
Not too much, I don't think, to be honest. It's as I said, you know, today is very much about getting everybody out there, and you know, they then enjoying themselves out there, and you know, you get some of the new guys out with somebody with a bit of experience, and so they can talk way around, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're pairing up together, more having a good chat on the golf course. And you know, 4 of them were in the media this morning and did their rotation, so those 4 are playing together, you know, and that kind of where that came from. They went off last because they did their media rotation, so you know, and then you fit everything in around it. But I don't feel like I've given anything away in what's happening out on the golf course today. But you know, in any Ryder Cup, things come out of the blue and things develop during the week, and that's what I said to you guys yesterday. You know, you get yourself there 80-85%, and then things kind of during the week, there's certain things that can change. But I'm pretty set in my mind and where I want to go with this. From the beginning, and then obviously over the 2 days with pairings, things can change a lot, but I'm pretty set in my mind.
And Mike, one just behind you.
Thomas, how would you describe the way the course is set up this week, and what went into that decision for you as far as figuring out what would best suit Europe? Was it, you know, a lot of statistics or conversations with players, or just how would you describe that?
Well, I mean, this is a tough golf course to start with, and it's you know, I like the idea of a golf course that's set up like a championship golf course. You know, you got to identify guys that are hitting the golf ball well, identify guys that are playing good golf in the week. But all these 24 guys, you know, in the past, I think a lot of things have been put into golf courses. I also think in today's world, these guys play the same golf courses. They played the same tournaments 25 years ago. They didn't play the same tournaments, the same golf courses. You know, they're very much similar type of players. So you can put as much into the golf course as you want. I think when you got a venue like this and a course like this, you know, you can only do so much. And I've said from the beginning, it's difficult to grow water. It's difficult to make those big changes, you know, and this golf course is very similar to what we are used to when we come here, and that's probably more the thing that I like with it, is that there's guys in this team that's played a lot of French Opens. I don't want them to show up and then it's a completely different golf course to what they're used to. This is very similar to what's there normally.
Mike 4 here.
Yeah, Thomas, can you please explain the meaning of the yellow ribbon?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, the golfing family, extends way beyond what we're trying to do this week, and those events in America with Celia being killed playing golf was something that has hit everybody in the golf family, and obviously our 2 Spanish players very much. And we felt like that after a conversation from Ryder Cup Europe with Celia's mother, that we would honour her this week. So that's what we're doing, and it's not about us, but it's just more about that. The golfing family gets touched by these things all over the world, and it's terrible when things like this happen. And such a great prospect for the game of golf she was, but also a wonderful person. And when you speak to Sergio and Jon about it, they couldn't talk highly enough about her. So we felt that was appropriate for the week.
Yeah. Sorry, if I may. Yeah, I was walking with the grounds crew this morning, and the fairways felt a little narrower, and the greens a little slower. Is that? Do you have anything to do with that?
The fairway lines are pretty much the way I've always seen them at the French Open, to be honest. That hasn't changed that much, and the greens are what they are. That's the speed of them is where they very often are when we're here, and the way we have our green speeds in Europe. So it'd be strange if it was anything different when you came here. So that's where they are.
And Mike 3 here.
Thomas, how much has been made about the fact that, right here, Tom, much has been made of the fact that you have 5 rookies, as you know. How nervous were you as a rookie? And do you ascribe to the Justin Rose theory that it depends who the rookies are?
Yeah, I think the great thing about rookies is that they can't wait to get out there and get going. And obviously, for some, the occasion on Friday can be big and daunting, and for some they don't see it, and you don't really know until they're on the tee. You want to see them get out there, you want to see them what they're all about. But I got a good feeling about these 5, I have to say. I feel like they're all well prepared. I feel like they're very strong. They're very class players. There's some very good quality in there, and the way they talk about it, and we get a good feeling about them being around them. It looks like they're ready to go. Yeah, I mean, if you stand on the first tee at Valderrama, and it's the tightest fairway in the whole world of golf. So when you're standing on the first tee at Valderrama in the Ryder Cup, there's not much to hit at. So that's pretty much the only thing you're thinking about. It was a wonderful experience, but it's an opportunity, and I've always looked at those moments in my career as an opportunity. It's a chance to go out and test everything that you work towards. So I always looked at it that way, but that doesn't mean that you're not extremely nervous. You have that kind of excess of feeling in your body, the way you lose a little bit of control of what you're doing. But I felt like I settled into it pretty quickly, which was great. And I think that's kind of the thing. I'm always nervous when I walk to the first tee, starting around the golf. So it's nothing new, and you know that you settle into it quickly. When you play a regular tour event, you probably settle into it over the first hole, and when you play in the Ryder Cup, it might take 2 or 3 holes, but then you get into playing golf, and off you go. And as long as you know that and you have that experience, it's something that you can deal with.
Mike 2, Neil.
Yeah, Thomas, the Conor Moore video that you showed your team last night, whose idea was that? What were you trying to achieve, and who was the best impression, did you think?
Yeah, that was a team effort, let's put it that way. But obviously we have a wonderful social media team on the European Tour that comes up with great ideas. And when you get into what's a week of high pressure, you also gotta have a bit of fun. And I very much always start in the place with stuff like that I wanna. If you're gonna make fun of people, you're going to start making fun of yourself as well. So that's kind of where we went with it, and that set a nice tone. It was a good it was a good atmosphere in that room yesterday. I think that there might be one or two that found out a few truths about themselves, about how people look at them, but they took that all in great spirits. I'm not sure Justin would be showing his gold medal too much the next few days.
Doug, mic 3 there with Doug.
Yeah, Thomas, to the left here. When it comes to Poulter, and I suppose Sergio as well, how much does reputation in the Ryder Cup contribute to form?
No, heart and what they are contributes a lot, and that's kind of what I've been trying to say about both of them, and maybe in different ways. Ian has a fantastic connection with the fans and the people around. Sergio has a fantastic connection with the players within the room, and that's what they bring. But don't forget that these are, we're talking about a Masters champion from last year, and we're talking about somebody who won on the PGA Tour this year. They're no mugs when they get out on the golf course either. They're very capable of delivering, and that's where they probably get their reputation from, is that they've been very good at winning points on the golf course, and then they bring so much else to it as well. So they are the whole package. They are what you look for as a captain. They're people like that you want to have in your team, because they're the driving force behind where you're trying to go, and that's what both of them are, but in a little bit different ways probably, because I think Poulter is that fan favourite on this side of the Atlantic, and Sergio's, he's good with the fans, but he's certainly great with the players in the team.
Mic 1 down here.
You've got obviously this hugely expanded grandstand behind the first tee. I'm just wondering if you have talked amongst yourselves at all about that, and if you had any input, if you're consulted about things like that when you're planning ahead for the event.
Yeah, you obviously have conversations with the people that are building the venue, but I think we thought it was big in Glen Eagles. It was certainly big last time in Hazeltine. So, if this is the route we're going to go, we're going to have 60,000 sitting down on the first hole at some stage in the future. But there was an opportunity here as well, because you got the room, and I just think it's going to be one of those amazing experiences in any sport of being on that first tee. And have I had any input? I've had conversations with the staging team and Ryder Cup Europe about how this should be, but I think there's always been a feeling that this Ryder Cup was going to be pretty special. It was going to be pretty unique. It was going to be big. So there was an opportunity here to do what's done on the first. So, yeah, involvement, but it's not me that's been standing there and saying I want it to look exactly like this and this big, because that's not that idea was on the table before I even got there, and then. Yeah, I've impacted it a little bit, but not in any big matter.
Mic 3 here.
Your team has quite a few guys that are very outwardly fiery and passionate, and then quite a few that are very calm and that sort of demeanour. What, if anything, does that sort of personality come into the two different types of personalities come into your decisions to put people together, or not so?
Yeah, but those are the personalities you want. You want to have a bit of everything in your team, and they can fit into every situation that you're going out in. So, but do you put two fiery guys out there together and two very calm ones? Well, it's more about how they get on with each other and how their games match. And as I keep saying, in their pairings, there's a lot of things that plays into it. They're all very different, but some guys that are calm can deal with somebody that's fiery out on the golf course. They have no problem with that, and some guys want to have it a little bit different and more a similar type, and it's about talking to them individually and not say, okay, you two do the same thing and then you play well together. That doesn't always happen. It's a lot about talking to them individually and figuring out what they actually like to play with.
Mic 1 with Neil here.
Thomas, hi. On the fire front, what's your advice to Tyrrell, Hatton this week about either keeping a lid on it or letting it all blow?
You know, I spent a lot of time with him over the last year or so, and that personality that he is, and the way he comes across when you have him off the golf course is it's very different than the one you see on it. And he's very warm. He's a really lovely guy to be around, and funny. And once you see that side of him, you probably see the things on the golf course a little bit differently. You know, I see the same things as everybody else. But you know, I want him to be Tyrrell Hatton in everything that he does, and you know that's so you got to find somebody that deals with those things very well. But I want him to be him. I'm not here to try and change any of those 12. They're here because of who they are, and that's what they got to go with. It's not my job to change Tyrrell. He will go out and play with the passion and heart he has, but he's a very warm member of our team, and everybody takes to him in that team room, and that makes it a lot easier to deal with you know, those little ups and downs. But you know, I see a lot of myself in him.
Mic 4 over here, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas. We saw you having a chat with Jon Rahm today. What can you say to a rookie, but not a normal rookie, as Jon Rahm, that has so much passion with when he plays? And you know, we have a great Spanish couple, Celia and Olazabal. Maybe another new great couple in this Ryder Cup?
Yeah, John comes in, you know, of a long list of great Spanish players, and you know, Spanish players come into any Ryder Cup team knowing of the history and the torch they carry for Spain in that way, and he will do that. You know, he has that passion and he has a desire. He wants to be on the golf course. Phenomenal player, probably the most exciting player to come in the game since Rory. I think, you know, he's phenomenal. I think he's very powerful, strong. He's got a great attitude towards where he wants to go in his game. Any player that age has things to learn, and this is a part of his whole learning curve as a player, getting into Ryder Cup experience and something new. But you only have to talk to him for about 10 seconds and realizing, you know, he's going to take to this very well. He wants to be on that golf course. He wants to win points. He's here for all the right reasons. He's just, you know, when those guys come around, you just so desperately want them to be there and be out on the golf course. I'm delighted. You know, I have short conversations with him. And the great thing about John is that he just wants to learn. You know, he takes everything in, and he listens and he talks to people, and then he will take, okay, I can use this, I can't use that, and then he will go with it. He's a strong professional, and you know, whatever the future will bring his way, I'm sure within the game of golf it will be great things.
Number 3 down in the front row here.
Thomas, a huge deal is made of your role now, the captaincy in Ryder Cup golf, and some people say that while a good captain can't necessarily win you a Ryder Cup, a bad captain can cost you a Ryder Cup. Is that correct?
Well, you can be a really bad one, and then there might be a chance, but you've got to remember that those 12 wants to go out there, and they're not doing it for me. I hope they're not doing it for me. I hope they're doing it for other reasons than that. I hope they're doing it for themselves. I hope they're doing it for their countries. I hope they're doing it for their continent, and they're doing it for each other. If they're only playing for me, then we've got problems, you know, because that's not what we're there to do. We're there for so many. It's so much bigger and stronger than that, and those bonds that they get with each other, that's what it's all about. So you'd like to think, even if I was a bad captain, they will still get together and want to give it a shot and not give up because the captain is poor. So can you lose it as a captain? Well, I mean, you've got the final decisions on certain things, and obviously you can mess that up. But I don't think that's captain is the one thing that makes a big difference. I think it's the players that makes a difference, and it's for them to go out and show they want this, and that goes for both teams.
Did you get your jacket back in Liverpool, by the way?
I didn't, no.
You didn't get it back?
No.
Shame.
And microphone one here.
Thomas, how different is this course down over here?
Oh, on the side. Sorry.
No worries.
Those numbers, I don't see them.
How different is this course from Hazeltine in terms of the types of shots that it rewards and the style of golf it demands?
It's a completely different golf course. To be honest, it's tight. It's not very long. Hazeltine was wide. It was a long golf course. There's a lot of rough. There's no rough in Hazeltine. So yeah, all the differences that you can come up with, they're here. That's it, and that doesn't make Hazeltine a bad golf course, and it doesn't make this one a bad one either. They're both great golf courses in their own rights, and that's what it is. But this is the course we're playing this week, and all those 24 out there now trying to figure out how to play it the best way.
Just one more here. If you take microphone 3 in the centre.
They're not used to you asking questions.
Thomas, I think you said perhaps it was the PGA that Rory McIlroy was a player that was about to go boom or could go boom at any time. Just wondering what you feel about his form this year. He's been since Bay Hill. He hasn't quite perhaps put it all together the way you might like. What do you expect from him in terms of that playing, and also in terms of leadership in the team room and that personality that he brings to the game?
Well, the good thing about Rory is he's not maybe won the last few weeks or months. He's still thereabouts every time he plays, and that's a quality, shows what quality he has and what he brings on the golf course. I mean, you only you go out there and watch him play. It's just wonderful to watch. He's such a phenomenal ball striker. He does so many great things on the golf course. I always say he's the one guy I'll pay money to watch play. Because he's just quality in all ways. But the steps he's taken off the golf course are brilliant. He brings so much in that team room, and he's great to have conversations with. He's got great ideas. He understands everybody in the team room very well. He really gets under the skin on a lot of those youngsters, and they take to him. And you got people that are great players, and then you got people that have everything. And he's one of those that if you're a young player, you look at him and you look at him maybe in a little bit of a different way, where this is the guy I want to learn from. This is the guy I want to be. The way he plays golf, there's not a golfer in the world that wouldn't want to be like that. So he brings a lot of things. He's just. You all know what he's like. You know how good a guy he is, and it's somebody that you just want to be around. And you put those people like that into a team room, well, then they raise the mood of everybody else, and he's very good at that. So he's obviously a big part of this team, but he's also very understanding that it is a team and it's about all 12, and that's what we go with.
Question 4 up here, back left.
Compared to the setup of the course during the French Open, have you made some change on the course for Ryder Cup?
Not really, in the way that there's still a lot of rough, and the rough changed quite a bit from the summer. I think the first time it rained here since the French Open was this Sunday. So it obviously takes all that long wispy stuff. It takes it away from being that, and now it's a more usual setup with shorter grass but very lush and green. So that's the way the golf course is. But in the way of fairway lines, it's the same. The green speed is the same. The firmness of the golf course is very similar. But yeah, it's a different rough, but they're still equally as difficult to play from.
And a final one down here.
Thomas, did you issue a captain's decree that you were not to be included in the video, or were you included, and if so, what sort of fun did they make of it?
Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely in that video. It included something like a shower cap that made up for my head, I think, and then some extremely big eyebrows. So, yeah, I was very much included. I don't know if I was the most fun one, but they certainly, well, they take it a mickey out of me anyway. You know, they don't need a video to do that.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't see you. Your hand. I'm sorry.